explain the active voice and passive voice in this lesson. سوف أقوم بشرح المبني المعلوم والمبني المجهول في هذا الدرس. In English grammar, voice doesn't mean sound you make when you speak. It shows whether the subject of a sentence is doing the action or having the action done to it. If the subject is the person performing the action, we use the active voice. When we are not bothered about who or what carried out the action of the verb, we use passive voice. In other words, the subject of a sentence refers to someone or something who doesn't perform the action but it is affected by the action of the verb. طبعا لما نقول active voice passive voice الفويس مو معناه انه الصوت اللي نصدر عندما نتحدث، وانما هو الصوت بالجملة، انه الجملة يكون الاكشن او الفعل هو المهم بالجملة او الفاعل. بعض الأحيان لما يكون الفاعل هو المهم والفاعل اللي نعرفه ونريد نركز عليه نستخدم الأكتيف فويس. في أحيان أخرى يكون الفعل هو المهم هو المؤثر بالجملة والفاعل غير ضروري أو يمكن يكون غير معلوم، فنستخدم الباسيف فويس أو المبني المجهول. Examples: I cleaned the office while you were out. هاي بالأكتيف فويس تكون جملة إنه موجود subject والفعل وتكملة الجملة. In passive voice, the sentence will be the office was cleaned while you were out. في جملة أخرى ليلى mailed the letter. In passive voice, the sentence will be the letter was mailed by Layla. The active voice. We say things in active voice when we want to show who or what has done something. In the active voice, the agent, the person or thing that does something, is the subject of a sentence. مثل ما قلنا الأكتيف فويس يكون هو لما نستخدم الجملة أو الجملة تكون بالأكتيف فويس يكون الفاعل معلوم والفاعل هو اللي ركز عليه، هو اللي الفاعل اللي قام بالفعل بالجملة. For example, she cleaned the office. Who cleaned the office? She did. She, the subject here in this sentence. He crashed into my car. Who crashed into my car? He did. The subject. The subject here in this sentence is he. Passive voice. Use of passive. Passive voice is used when the focus is on the action. It's not important or not known, who or what is performing the action. بالباسيف فويس يكون الأكشن هو المهم واللي دا نستخدمه، أو يكون الفاعل مثل ما قلنا إنه غير معروف. Example: My bike was stolen. In the example above, the focus is on the fact that my bike was stolen. I don't know, however, who did it. Sometimes a statement in passive is more polite than active voice, as the following example shows. Example: A mistake was made. طبعا في بعض الأحيان يكون استخدام الباسيف فويس مؤدب أكثر بالجملة، يعني في بعض الجمل مثلا بدل ما نقول الشخص you made a mistake نقول a mistake was made، إنه غير ضروري إنه نذكر الفاعل أو من الذي فعل أو ارتكب الخطأ، فنقول a mistake was made، فيكون استخدام الباسيف فويس أفضل. Form of passive voice. الجملة بالباسيف فويس تتكون من subject verb to be past participle أو التصريف الثالث للفعل. Example: A letter was written. When rewriting active sentence in passive voice, note the following. لما نحول الجملة من active voice إلى passive voice لازم نلاحظ النقاط التالية. The object of active sentence becomes the subject of passive sentence. Number 2. The verb is changed to be plus past participle. Number 3. The subject of active sentence becomes the object of the passive sentence or is dropped. يعني أول شيء يكون الأوبجكت اللي بالجملة المبني للمعلوم يصبح هو السبجكت أو الفاعل بالجملة المبني للمجهول، والفعل يتحول من مثلا I wrote a letter فيصير was written، يعني verb to be past participle أو التصريف الثالث للفعل. والنقطة الثالثة إنه يكون الفاعل في جملة المبني للمعلوم هو المفعول به في جملة المبني المجهول أو قد يحذف. Example of passive. طبعا بالتصاريف الفعل simple present كيف تكون الجملة بالactive voice والpassive voice حنشوف بالأمثلة التالية. In simple present active voice Mona writes a letter. In passive voice a letter is written by Mona. Simple past أو الماضي البسيط. In active sentence Mona wrote a letter. Passive sentence a letter was written by Mona. In present perfect active voice or active sentence Mona has written a letter. In passive sentence a letter has written by Mona. In simple future active sentence Mona will write a letter. Passive sentence a letter will be written by Mona. In present progressive أو المضارع المستمر active sentence Ahmed is writing a letter. In passive sentence a letter is being written by Ahmed. Past progressive أو بالماضي المستمر in active voice the sentence will be Ahmed was writing a letter. In passive voice the sentence will be a letter was being written by Ahmed. Past perfect in active sentence Ahmed had written a letter. Passive sentence a letter had been written by Ahmed. Perfect future the active sentence Ahmed will have written a letter. Passive sentence a letter will have been written by Ahmed. Passive sentence with two objects إذا كانت الجملة بها two objects أو بها مفعولين منه اللي حنخليه subject بالpassive sentence حسب احنا على من نركز. يعني بالمثال التالي مثلا نقول نور wrote a letter to me. A letter to me object 1 to me object number 2. عندنا two objects فمن حنحولها الباسيف voice الجملة حنكتب a letter was written to me by نور أو I was written a letter by نور حسب ما احنا على من نريد نركز. As you can see in the examples adding by نور doesn't sound very elegant. That's why it's usually dropped. by نور قد تحذف يعني. Personal and impersonal passive. Personal passive simply means the object of the active sentence becomes the subject of passive sentence. So every verb that needs an object, transitive verb, can form a personal passive. Example: they build houses. In passive voice, houses are built. This we call this sentence we call personal passive or personal passive. here يعني شنو البيرسونال باسيف؟ هنا البيرسونال باسيف لما يكون اكو object اي اكو مفعول به الفاعل يكون الفعل يكون متعدي فياخذ مفعول به. فممكن لما نكون جملة بالباسيف فويس يكون المفعول به موجود وحاضر عندنا. they build houses are built. بعض الجمل الفعل يكون لازم او ما ياخذ مفعول به فشون تتحول إلى passive voice. Verb without an object in transitive verb normally can inform a personal passive sentences as there is no object that become the subject of the passive sentence. If you want to use intransitive verb in passive voice you need an impersonal construction. Therefore this passive is called impersonal passive. Example: he says. says هنا أنا ما أخذ مفعول به فشون بنحولها الباسيف فويس نقول it is said. في مثال آخر they say that women live longer than men بنحولها المبني المجهول it is said that women live longer than men. وممكن نقول women are said to live longer than men. فهنا بالحالة هاي صارت personal passive لأنه قدرنا نجيب women يعني صارت الجملة إنه موجود عندنا object كأنه موجود عندنا object فتصير الجملة women are said to live longer than men. يعني بالحالتين صحيح استخدامها، يا إما women are said to live longer than men أو it is said that women live longer than men.